Stop to check the cut. You know, it's the fight game. You know, if we had stopped a little bit earlier, maybe people would have said, wow, you know, that got stopped. He was standing up, he was fine. I think where it got stopped was perfect because we all knew that Nick was getting hurt. That being said, Nick is such an amazing fighter. He's such a strong, gutsy guy. But, you know, the time was up, and when he got dropped with that right hand, I think the referee made a good call.
And I think Nick, like, listen, this is not discredit the guy. He was winning in the beginning of the first round. I believe he was winning in the beginning. He was hitting him with hit kicks, and even Justin Gaethje said he hurt me. I think it was left hook.
Yeah, he takes the loss, but Gaethje's undefeated, and he showed time and time again he's a dangerous fighter. And for Nick to come out and kind of open, I think it looked even like he may have surprised Justin a little bit. Does that still add to just how great Nick Newell is?
Yeah, no, absolutely. You can't take anything away from Nick. I mean, Nick, again, you know, he's undefeated as a pro until tonight. That being said, I mean, like, he displayed what he's made of. He's a gutsy guy, he's strong, he's tough, and you know, when you go up against someone like Justin Gaethje that only knows one speed, and that's 100 miles an hour, you know, you gotta be just as strong. Fortunately for Justin, he came out on top. But Nick is, you know, Nick's gonna be back. I mean, he's a tough guy. He showed that he can mix it with the best. After that first round, I realized that how tough Nick is, and I realized that he has the skills to mix it with the best.
I'm gonna add one thing to my brother right here, guys. Justin Gaethje, he do this to everybody. He did not do this to Nick Newell because he's a one-arm fighter. To me, he hit Nick Newell today. He hit Justin Gaethje more than anybody hit him. I never see anybody hit Justin Gaethje before like that. He hit him, he hurt him with a couple of shots, even body kicks, hits, but at the end of the day, he's a warrior, and I'm a big fan of his.
Ali, what did you learn about Nick Newell in this fight? I think one thing the press row was his chin. I mean, he took the best shots that Justin Gaethje could throw out. Was that the biggest thing you learned about him?
To be honest with you, I know the kid, you know, I know the kid is tough, but I don't know how his chin is. But everybody today see how his great chin is, how big his heart is, because I know how hard Justin Gaethje is. He fought a lot of guys, and they come to me after they fought and said, I never been hit this hard before. Justin Gaethje is one of the best lightweights in the world now. I think, you know, he's on his way. He's a big superstar now, and Nick Newell is a true warrior, and he'll be back soon.
Even though Melvin missed weight, is he still going to get the title shot?
Listen, you know, it's too early to make stuff right now. Melvin, I talked to him, me and Ray, and he said, you know, the time different. Normally he make weight at 4 o'clock. You know, he's always professional. He never missed weight before. You know, I think he's in the title picture, you know, but that's his decision. Me and Ray have to talk about it, and we're going to come up with an answer. We'll let you guys know.
So with this fight tonight being broadcast live around on NBC, do you feel that some of the mainstream people that have seen this fight tonight and see Nick get beat up like he did are going to have a bad impression of what MMA really is all about?
Go ahead, Ray.
I think if you actually did see that fight, you're going to see how inspirational Nick is. You're going to see a guy, I mean, you name one guy that has half an arm and be in that cage and compete with the world champion. There's not many people that with you know, all their limbs can't compete with the champion. The champion is not only undefeated as an amateur, 7-0, he's undefeated as a pro. Nick went 3 rounds with the guy. You know what I mean? And that's, to me, that's inspirational. I mean, you can look at it whatever way you want to look at it, but not only that, again, like, you know, I second what Ali said, Nick showed that he's got a chin, he showed he's got heart, he showed that he's a tough guy, he showed that he's got courage. I mean, the guy, his whole story, anything like I said earlier in other interviews, is that when you think of Nick, you think of inspiration.
Now, one more question. Now that the fights are over tonight and the NBC show is done, how do you guys feel personally making it to this accomplishment today?
Listen, like, we woke up in the morning, me and my brother here, and the whole team, hard work and dedication. We always put on great card over and over again. This is our living event. You know, and here, me and my brother Ray, and we just, you know what, I'm speechless. I don't know what to say, to be honest with you. I'm happy. We put on a great event, great fights. I can't be more than happier than this.
It's a great accomplishment for you guys to go on NBC. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Was the plan to kind of have that high pacing that the broadcasts have, go fight to fight, especially in the main card?
Yeah, absolutely. Obviously, you know, action speaks louder than words, right? So, obviously for us, you know, we wanted to come out on our first NBC card and be explosive. And, credit to Ali, who's a great matchmaker, and he put a card together that
He helped me too. Don't believe that. He helped me a lot too.
we help each other. But that being said, is like that's exactly the kind of card we wanted. That's exactly how we wanted to come out first on our first show. So no, we're like Ali said, we're very excited and very happy, and we can't thank not only the fans but also you guys, the media, and also NBC for believing in what we do. And of course, now in a year and a half, in 6 months of signing the deal with IMG, we're in 80 countries around the world. That's impressive, And so for us, it's we're counting our blessings, but there's still a lot of work to be done, and we continue to challenge ourselves.
You talked about some of that stuff, but I know yesterday you were a little bit perturbed with Melvin missing weight. But for them to come out on NBC and Melvin and Jay-Z to put on the type of fight they had, that's what you guys wanted to see in your first fight on NBC, right?
Absolutely. We knew, both Ali and I know exactly what JC brings to the table. We know exactly what Melvin brings to the table. So, we knew that fight, first off, being on the NBC card was going to be a banging fight, and that's exactly what happened.
But let me add a little bit thing what Ray said. I think in the card it was great, but I think the one referee, I don't know his name is, I think he stopped Melvin and Jay-Z fight early. I think he should at least give Jay-Z a time to recover. He's been veteran. He's a guy who's been a champion before. I think it was an earlier stoppage. I believe, and me and Ray, I think we agree.
I second that too. Listen, JC was hurt, but he was still on his feet. Melvin is a great finisher. So who knows what could have happened? But the ref could have allowed it for maybe a few more seconds to see where that fight was going to go. That being said, it's said and done, and we move on to the next thing.
During your guys' Florida shows, you guys have done a good job of bringing a lot of local fighters. Is that part of the formula in matchmaking when you have a show in this kind of area?
It depends. It depends because we believe a lot of local fighters. This is where they live and they have their family, their friends, and we want to bring people in seats. And also, these guys want to fight in front. Why not? If we can put on local fighters and we give them the opportunity, and if they do well, we'll keep them. And if they don't, it will be a great experience for them. And that's a great formula. It's not really growth formula. It depends. It depends on the card. It depends where we at. Sometimes we put on some guys on the undercard, and they're not even from the local market.
So Ali, with Fitch and Hallman now, Fitch getting the win, and he's been waiting for that title fight with Rosemar Pajalaras. Is this going to happen sometime in December? It's been rumored.
Me and Ray talked about this before the event, and does anybody deserve it? It's John Fitch. He's been around for a long time. He's a big name. I think he might fight. Him and Pajalaras will fight, and maybe Jake Shield and Berkman will fight, and we'll go from there. We'll be on the next NBC card.
Ali, with the promotion being so young, just walk us through your mindset when you're deciding who's fighting for a belt, when you decide to put a belt out there. You and Ray, is it a team decision or is it just your decision?
No, man, it's nothing. Never my decision. It's always me and Ray and my brother Sean. We always talk about it. It's teamwork. We always no ego. We always talk to each other. We live together very much. We see each other more than we see our families, And it's always a decision between all of us, and we discussed it, and and it's so much fun because sometimes everybody have different views, but at the end of the day, we all always on the same page. Always.
As they say, 3 minds is better than one, right?
Do you have an attendance number for tonight?
Say that again.
Attendance.
No.
We don't have. Listen, today was.
I want to say 10,000.
Yeah. Today it was about the live TV NBC network. Today was all about television network. We want to bring a lot of local people. We bring a lot of military, and we don't charge them ticket. We bring some people cancer survivor. Was a little kids in an arena. She was 3 years old, and she have a leukemia, and she requested her mother. She liked fighting. And they called me and said, listen, we want to come to your fight. And I said, no problem. And they come, and she sat front row, and she have a great time. And she was the most beautiful thing I ever seen. And she really touched my heart. She really did.
Yeah, it's really important, just to second what Ali was saying, it's really important for us to give back. And, especially our military and a couple of days ago, John Fitch and I visited the medical center here. So that kind of thing is really important for us to do someone to go out there and for people to look up to, it's giving them hope. You know what I mean? And so that's very important to us.
Would you ever consider doing a show like on a military base, like a Fight for the Troop type event?
Well, it's funny you asked that because that's exactly what we did. This actual show was meant to be in the military base. Unfortunately, due to a few things that didn't work out, it got postponed. But yeah, that's something that's in the works, and we're talking about it. And myself, Sean, and Ali will discuss it further, and maybe somewhere down the line we'll do that.
You talked about the importance of TV, and you guys, I know, probably feel good about what you put on TV. But as far as things coming together here in Daytona, just kind of what you thought about it, had to come together kind of quickly for you guys. Are you happy with the way things happened here in Daytona, with just as far as the turnout and the support?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we knew that the NASCAR is in town. It's the 4th of July weekend. Where's the Fighting's in town? I mean, people that came to Daytona for a vacation couldn't ask for a better weekend. You know what I mean? So. No, Daytona delivered, and we'll come back again for sure.
Listen, we probably did a month's quick turnaround to come to Daytona. Most company would have canceled the event, and we was not going to cancel our NBC. And we thought Daytona was great. I think the crowd was awesome. I'm having a great time. I think Daytona is a great city, and I'm going to come back for sure.
You talked about the importance of TV in this too, and wanting to have that good first impression on NBC. What would make you guys happy to see in those numbers, man? Can you tell us?
To be honest with you,
10 million.
Right now,
I like the 10 number.
We know we
bunch of zeros.
We delivered. We delivered on the weekend. It was very difficult. I have UFC back-to-back event. We barely have any media. We're glad to have you guys, and I think. We always, we always put on quality fights, and we always do. You can ask anybody out there. Doesn't matter what the rating is. It is matter. But we are a young company. We are grown. Just gotta be focused and humble. And people, I believe, I expect to over at least a million or maybe more.
So you have when you have a fighter like Nick Newell trending on Twitter and being on national television in the middle of the day, is this kind of your first real shot at UFC as it turns in competition?
No, listen. We're not here to compete with other people. We compete with ourselves, and the UFC is the UFC, and we us, and respect what they do, and we respect what we do, and they put the blueprint for everybody to be successful. And listen, Nick Newell is a household name in America. He get more PR than anybody we have. The kid can fight. He's like Ray said, he's inspiring to all of us. And now we just compete with our own self. We're not worried about other people, what they do.
So now at 135, with Bollinger getting a win tonight, a lot of people are talking about that he might get a shot at Marlon Moraes, but he's already come out and said he's going to move to 145. So where does that leave the title picture for Marlon Moraes?
Listen, we have a lot of 135er. We have Josh Hill. We have a lot of other guys that can get the title. Listen, Marlon, I'm be honest with you, I'm having a hard time fighting guys. Nobody want to fight Marlon because he's one of the best 135-pounder in the world. And me and Ray always talking about who's next. And Marlon, he was tweeting me, he was like, let me get Cody Bellinger, but Cody Bellinger to Ray is going to 145, and this is what he do. If he want to do it, we can't force him to go down to 135.
You mentioned the NASCAR connection here this weekend. Next year, NBC takes over the NASCAR rights. Would it be something that you would be interested in, maybe a matinee, even here in Daytona, to lead into the NASCAR race?
Absolutely. That is definitely something that we've talked about, and that is definitely something that we will look to do. But that will take time, and when that happens, it'll happen.